just a hack. He's just an absolute hack. And he gets his ass kicked by his teammates every week. It's just, it's terrible. It's just terrible.
The debate for which quarterback should be the first selected in the 2023 NFL draft is really heating up. We've got the NFL Combine coming up next week, and it's only going to get more divisive on who the guy should be. And one name that has been surging right now is Anthony Richardson, the quarterback from Florida. Now, before I get into this video, and you read the title, you saw the thumbnail, you saw the description, I need to preface this by saying I do not have Anthony Richardson ranked as my number one quarterback. I have Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, then Anthony Richardson. But for the sake of argument, why is Anthony Richardson being ranked as a possible and considered as a possible first overall pick and first quarterback selected? There's an argument to be made here, and there's one that I understand and one that, frankly, I support. I would not do it, but I support. Now, Anthony Richardson is the least polished amongst any of the available quarterbacks being considered in the first round. If we're talking about Stroud, Young, Will Levis, Hendon Hooker, and Richardson, he's the least polished. His last game, he went 9 for 27. He's got plenty of games where he threw a lot of questionable interceptions and had a lot of bad turnovers. But the reasoning for Anthony Richardson being projected where he is because of his age and also because of his talent. At one point, Will Levis was considered to be the de facto first overall pick. The entirety of the season, all we heard from Todd McShay and everybody is that Will Levis was the first overall pick. Now, he wasn't as far along as guys like Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. He had a lot of potential. He's a big, strong kid, a high character kid, but he had a lot of work to do. He had a lot of questionable throws, a lot of weird decisions that he was making on the football field that needed an improvement. And the comparison to Josh Allen made sense. Physically, it does make some sense that he's got a huge arm, but just needs to work on improving some of his throws, making his easy throws look less hard. A lot of work that needed to happen for Will Levis. Now, I continuously said this, and it's now coming to fruition. Why were we willing to consider Will Levis first overall at the time when he's a project, but we're not willing to do the same for Anthony Richardson, who's about equally the same amount of being a project, but is a much younger player? Will Levis is 24 years old. Anthony Richardson is 21. That age difference is stark. It is massive. The amount of games that these two quarterbacks have played in and started is significantly different. Will Levis has a whole more season of started games more than Anthony Richardson does. Anthony Richardson's only full season as a starter was this past year at Florida. In a year, frankly, I think most people would agree, his development was clearly stunted by Billy Napier. The talent that he brings to the table, he is the best athlete amongst the group. He has one of the biggest arms amongst the group. But what puts a lot of evaluators, including myself, in awe of his capabilities are his ability to navigate the pocket, the ability to stand in with pressure coming at him, and to still be able to make difficult throws off platform with pressure in his face easily, like it's nothing. That is what is promising. That is what is elite. There's one play in particular against Texas A&M, which I'll try to throw into this video, probably won't because I don't want it to get removed for copyright purposes. But there's one throw where the ball flicks right out of his hand easily like it's nothing. But for most other quarterbacks and some other quarterbacks in this class, that would have been a difficult throw to complete in a tight window with pressure coming down on him as he is transitioning and moving his body. Not a lot of quarterbacks can do some of the things that Anthony Richardson can do. He makes so many difficult things look easy. But the reason why we need to be careful, we need to be wary of a guy like Anthony Richardson, is that he does make a lot of easy things look hard. He is a young, developing player. He has so much work that needs to be done. He does not have the same amount of games under his belt that Bryce Young and that CJ Stroud do, who are the same age and actually are younger than him. But if you can tap into that, if you put Anthony Richardson in a situation similar to Patrick Mahomes or Trey Lance or Jordan Love, allow them to sit, allow them to develop, they can shine, or he can shine rather. He can be one of the best players in the NFL, a top 3 player at the position if he actualizes that talent. If he does or not, we may never know. Comment below. I want to know what you think. Do you think I'm an idiot? Tell me I am wrong and tell me why. Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be back with more. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks.